My friends, you are welcome to JoeNewton online class. It is time for us to learn mathematics. Right. Okay, what we have here is a task from SOD. Now I call it SOD problem or even challenge. We are asked to simplify 3 SOD 15 times 2 SOD 48 or 2 root 48 all over root 32 times 4 root 45. Good. Of course, we know that SOD has to do with irrational numbers. Good. Now, in solving this, if you look at the question, it appears to be difficult. That is apparently. But once you follow the rule, you will see how we tackle it. It's very simple. Now, let's go. Then in solution, we are given 3 root 15 times 2 root 48 all over root 32 times 4 root 45. Right. This is equal to, the first thing we are going to do, we look at this SOD. Look at this SOD. If we can break it into rational and irrational parts. But this cannot go. Root 15 is outrightly irrational. But you can still dismantle it to make our work easy. Watch out. We have 3 root 3 times 5. Yes. Then times 2 root 48 will be root 16 times 3 will give us 48, because 16 times 3 is equal to 48. So that will give us 16 times 3 all over. We come here. This is 16 times 2 will give us what? 32, because of we are considering one rational and one irrational part of the SOD when we are breaking it. Then here will be root 16 times 2, then times 4 here given. Then we'll come to this. This will be root. Of course, you know that breaking this into one rational and one irrational, we consider 9 times 5, because 9 times 5 is what? 45. And 9 is rational, and they are perfect square there, perfect square root, and then 5 is irrational. Like here, 16 is perfect square root, and 2 is irrational. So we have here 9 times 5, 45. Then we continue. When we ask, what of this one? Don't worry, you see the need why we did this. Because both of them are irrational, but there is a purpose for simplification. Then we continue. That will give us 3 root 5. Can you see? Because root 3 times 5 is root 15. And the same thing by implication, by rule of SOD, that it can separate them to become root 3 times root 5. It's the same thing. Okay. Times 4. Then coming to, we are up here, times 2. Then coming to this place, you see that square root of 16 is what? 4. So this will give us now times, because this 2 is multiplying everything here. So you go times 4 SOD 3. So that's what we have. Because square root of 16 is 4. And this implies SOD 16 times SOD 3, like we separated here. And that will give us 4, which is the perfect square. Then SOD 3, which is the irrational part. Then coming to the denominator, we have here square root of 16 here is what? 4. And that will give us 4 sod 2, because this is irrational part, times 4 already existing here, times here square root of 9 is 3, but 5 is irrational number there in the square root. So you have 3 sod 5. Good, because this is a perfect square root, but this one is irrational. Then, looking at this simply, we can now, because we are dealing with multiplications, and multiplication goes with division, so we can now divide by factors. That is versus the numerator versus the what? Denominator. Now look at this, dividing by factors, you can see that this, and in dividing by factor, be mindful of this condition. You can use the number outside the sword to divide number outside the sword. Do not use the one that is inside the sword, like this 3 here, to divide this one outside here. That will be madness in mathematics. It doesn't work that way. So sword versus sword, then perfect number, rational number versus rational number. Very simple. So looking at this, we have this 3 here can kill this 3 here. You see it? Then we now have again that this 4 here can kill this 4 here. Then you see that these 2 here kill itself 1, divide this 4 here, have what? 2. Then we see that this sod 5 can kill sod 5 here. You see it? Then what do we have again? We have sod 3 times sod 3 at the numerator, and down here we are left with sod 2 times 2. That will be equal to sod 3 times sod 3 all over 2 sod 2. Because there's 3 2 here, there's sod 2 here. Then this is sod 3, this is sod 3, left at the numerator. At the denominator have sod 2 and the 3 2, which is equal to sod 3 times sod 3 means sod 9. That is root 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. So it will give us root 9 over 2 root 2, because 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 square root of 9 is what? 3. Whenever you have a sort of a number multiplying the same sort, you get a what? A rational perfect number. That is it. So this will give us 3 over 2 sod 2. Simple. So I just did this for clear understanding, but ordinarily when you have sod 5 times sod 5, it gives you 5. When you have sod 4 times sod 4, it gives you 4. When you have sod 2 times sod 2, it will give you 2. Sod 3 times sod 3, it will give you just 3. But I did this for clear understanding. You see, it is very simple. So with this, you can tackle similar problems involving sod of this nature, sod multiplication and what? Division. Thank you for paying attention to this class. I hope you enjoy it with me. For more of these solutions in physics and mathematics, then visit my YouTube channel at JoeNewton Online Class. There, subscribe for notifications. It is free. Then share, like, and even comment. Drop your questions there. Then you can also follow me on my Facebook page. Stay at JoeNewton.